A recent survey by the American Psychiatric Association found that Americans anticipate higher stress at the start of 2023 than they did just a year ago. But there has also been an increase in the number of people who want to make a New Year's resolution to improve their mental health. We're joined this morning by our 9 News wellness expert and psychotherapist, Heather Hans, who is going to try to help us out a little bit this morning. Heather, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jordan.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay, so what is stressing everybody out so much more this time around than what we saw last year?
Yeah, so this year it's 1 in 4 Americans that are feeling so much stress compared to 1 in 5 last year. And the biggest reason, which has been the biggest jump, is financial stress. So 64% of Americans are feeling financially stressed. Over half of them are feeling just stressed about the uncertainty in general of the new year. And there's also been big jumps in concerns over mental and physical health. But the good news is that Americans are willing to make New Year's goals be more about mental health, including exercise, therapy, meditation, taking breaks from social media.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is an upside to it.
Yeah, we love to hear that. We like to hear about people taking care of themselves. That's actually been one of my New Year's resolutions as well. So for people like me, everybody who has made this resolution, what are some simple ways to reduce our most common stresses?
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that you're doing it too.
Yeah.
And so these are some fun research-backed ones. The first one is to imagine your best possible self.
Okay.
Because going back to financial stress, the way people spend and save money directly impacts their mental health. So if you impulse shop, that can increase shame, but also if you're overly frugal, like eating something you don't like just to save a few dollars, that also increases anxiety.
Interesting.
But researchers found out that positive emotions and working towards a meaningful life actually improve your financial position. So some ways to find meaning are to think about what you'd want said about you at your own funeral.
Yes.
If that's too bleak, you think about just your best possible self. What does that look like?
So that's kind of the Scrooge look at it, right? Like, you know, whenever you're shown, what do people think about me when I'm gone type of
Yes, exactly. What is your legacy? What do you want to be remembered for? That shows you your meaning.
Okay.
And then another thing to do is imagine best case scenarios instead of worst case scenarios.
Which is what motivates me. Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, so when you find yourself worried about the unknowns and some scary unknown future, first you want to bring yourself back to the present moment. So notice your breath, wiggle your toes and fingers, and then you, instead of believing every stressful thought, you want to counteract it with imagining best case scenarios. Finding silver lining. And what that does is it counteracts the natural tendency to overestimate risks and negative consequences. And then one other tip is to find something, one small change that impacts both mental and physical health. So for example, diet really impacts our mood.
Yeah.
So people can substitute veggies for chips, for example, or cook a meal, because being confident in the kitchen has been found to improve your mental health.
That's so funny. My partner bought me cooking classes for Christmas because he knows that's where I want to improve at.
I love it.
Yes.
So you'll kill 2 birds, you know?
Right. You know, with these resolutions you're kind of talking about, just briefly, because we just have a few seconds left, I'm wondering if you can also talk about the fact that when you achieve these goals, that gives us a sense of pride, and that helps also eliminate some anxiety there.
I'm so glad you brought that up. It gives us pride, and it also what gives us motivation. Motivation comes after we complete the task, not before. So that's really important for people
Good to remember. That's something we need to all write down in our journals. Motivation comes after. Okay, good to know. Heather Hans, where can people go to find help if they need it?
So Sondermind or psychologytoday.com has big groups of therapists that people can find. And if they ever need someone to talk to immediately, they can text the word TALK to 38255, I think that's it, the Colorado Crisis Hotline.
Absolutely. All right. Heather, we are so thankful for you. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Thanks, Jordan.
Appreciate it.